Listen, man, Alan always pays.
Oh my God.
No worries.
Harrison Wells' work in quantum theory is light years ahead of anything they're doing at CERN.
You're doing that thing where you're not speaking English.
You know, it's more than just karma. It's the principle of infinite consequence at work in our lives. And it's always expanding, creating positive sums on an infinite basis.
Everything the human race has ever learned until this moment. That is everything we could learn from the particle accelerator. It's a whole new way of looking at physics. It will literally change the way that we think about everything.
You've got to get yourself a girlfriend.
Iris, you are literally glowing. Aww. Oh, wait, it's pregnant women who glow. Brides blush.
Have we met?
No, I'm a complete and total stranger.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Aunt Dawn.
Wait, there are two in there?
We're having twins? Oops. Spoilers.
We're gonna need more diapers.
Coincidence? I think not!
Hey everybody, so I've been getting a lot of requests to do a bigger video for Dawn Allen, Iris West Speedster, so there are two really big things, but they are connected by the end of the season. Although taken separately, there have been a couple big news announcements recently. They confirmed that Iris West would be wearing a version of the Flash costume, so I'll explain what that's all about. But it's all part of this bigger mystery with the new girl that's writing the same Speed Force symbols that Barry wrote when he came out of the Speed Force. So coincidence? I think not. I was so happy that I remembered to include that Incredibles clip because it's so appropriate for what's going on in the Flash TV show right now. But there is a new round of the Flash Ring giveaway I'll explain at the end of the video. If you are new, be sure to subscribe to get everything because we do have a ton of stuff coming up this season. But let's start with the Dawn Allen character first. I'll do Iris West Speedster at the end of the video. So Dawn Allen is just the person that we're calling her. She seems to be Barry's daughter. That's the important takeaway, is that she's connected to Barry because of a couple important music cues when she appears on screen and some of the things that she's actually wearing on her body in this scene here. There were some funny tics that she had during her first meeting with Barry, total stranger, just implying that she was not a stranger. She knew exactly who Barry was and was just so happy to see him like it was the best thing that she'd ever done her entire life. But now we have a little more context because, like they say, Alan always pays. Bam, she slaps her hand down on the table, but she's also wearing a couple rings. Zoom, enhance, one of these actually looks kind of like the Flash ring. Although I can't quite make it out 100%, so I won't say like 100% this is definitely the Flash ring she's wearing, but it looks like the Flash ring. And what is that choker that she's wearing around her neck too? That's the exact same choker that Caitlin was wearing in the first episode. Maybe she got that from one of the other members of Team Flash in the future. I think we can all agree that she's from the future. It's just a question of when she's from, because of the Speed Force symbols. A lot of people are thinking now that that's actually Interlac, which is a language that comes from the Legion of Superheroes comic books. This is what Interlac in the comic books looks like. Now, the symbols have actually appeared on Supergirl because they're doing Legion of Superheroes. The symbols correspond to the different members of the Legion. So a lot of people early on thought that this might be a Legion character, but really, I think that she's just specific to what's going on in The Flash. I don't think that she has anything to do with what's going on Supergirl. That's why I don't think that she's a member of the Legion. I think whatever we see her do in the short term, it's all in service of a Flash family reveal, because there's a big thing on the show this season about women being pregnant, getting powers from pregnancy. So it all seems to point to the fact that Iris is going to get pregnant, and this will be one of their children, if not the only child. There are a lot of questions about tornado twins because they have twins in the comics, so if this is going to be Dawn Allen, then where's her twin brother, D-O-N Dawn Allen? Is he somewhere back in the future? Is there some bad thing in the future that she's coming back into the past to change? Or are they doing something totally different with the idea and using her as more of a Bart Allen character? Because Bart didn't have any twins. Now, there was an evil clone of him that was called Inertia, but he was a clone. He wasn't his brother or anything like that. But the reason why I think it's his daughter, not his granddaughter, even if they do use her as more of a Bart Allen, is because it'd be more meaningful for Barry. If you're not a big comic book reader, Barry died during Crisis on Infinite Earths before his children were born, so he never got to meet them. So his daughter and his son grew up without ever having known him. So it was this really tragic story because most of the people that got to interact with the Tornado Twins were during the Wally West era in the comics when people still thought that Barry was dead. But don't worry too much about comic book plot because I'm expecting the TV show to do their own version of it. Obviously, this is all connected to the Thinkers plot, which was something that happened during the Wally West era, so they're mixing and matching a lot of things, and we'll just have to follow the clues for Easter eggs. but you hear things like them using the same Scientist soundtrack whenever she's on screen that they use when Barry's on screen, getting all excited. They talk the same way, and it looks like she's wearing the flash ring. She could have only gotten that from a couple different people, depending on where she is in the timeline. And then there's the question of whether or not she's an actual speedster. But a lot of you have been asking why I've been talking about pregnant women getting powers from their pregnancy. In next week's episode, Cecile is supposed to temporarily get mind-reading powers because of her pregnancy, implying that her baby might also be a metahuman, or there's some crazy dark matter stuff going on that ties into what the Thinker is doing. But a lot of you, when I started talking about that, are like, why would they just randomly give women powers because of their pregnancy? Is it intended to be just a funny one-off thing? No. The reason why they're giving Cecile powers because of her pregnancy is to tee up this Iris West speedster story that they're doing in, I think it's episode 16. So at this point, the CW has officially confirmed, like they announced it on Twitter and social all over the place, that Iris West would be temporarily getting flash powers. And why would that happen? Maybe because she's pregnant. So they did say it'd be temporary. Obviously, you eventually have the baby, so the powers go away, or the baby just gets to a certain stage of development and the powers don't transfer to you. Either way, crazy Speed Force baby pregnancy powers will turn her into the TV show's version of Excess, because that's the costume she's wearing. So a lot of people that think that this character might be Excess, I think the fact that Iris West is wearing a version of the Excess costume throws water on her being a Legion character. So just more evidence that it's someone a little closer to home than the Legion of Superheroes. But hopefully that explains a little bit about all the evidence that's stacked up that this is Barry's daughter. She's almost exactly like Barry. She acts like him, talks like him, and if they're pushing Flash family this season, like why would Iris get pregnant if they didn't want them to have a Flash family, literal Flash family? Although when you say Flash family, the actual term applies to all speedsters that aren't evil, like Jay Garrick, Jesse Quick, their Flash family. So a lot of this is all in service of Season 5 stuff. So they can do Flash family in Season 5. Like we can get to Bart Allen, we can get to their children. We don't know exactly how fast they're pushing that stuff because I don't know how many episodes this actress is going to be in, but I have a feeling that she's not going to be in every single episode. She'll just pop up every once in a while and continue to tease out more clues. And then by the time we get to the last couple of episodes, she'll come back and you'll learn exactly who she is. Like they will leave no room for guessing. But at this point, I don't feel like we need that many more clues. I feel like they've given us everything that we need, and it really just goes back to those music cues as well as the way that she talks and acts. But for those of you asking about Iris West Speedster and why she'd be wearing this version of the costume and not the red-looking one from the comics, I think that's just because they want to give everybody a different color palette on screen. That's probably the biggest reason why you haven't seen Wally get a new version of the suit, because when everyone's running around on screen together and it gets really jumbled up and crazy action scenes, they want it to be this rainbow of colors, like Green Lantern spectrum of color kind of situation. What they'll probably tease out next is what's going on with these Speed Force symbols and how she's connected to it. Because episode 10, after we came back from the break, Iris is like, maybe we should look into those symbols. Maybe they can teach us something. And nobody on Team Flash has referenced that since then. And we're getting ready for episode 12. So at some point in the next couple of episodes, Cisco and someone else is going to have to start decoding more of those symbols. And then they'll start to figure out Barry got a look at the future when he was in the Speed Force existing beyond space-time, and then they'll tie it back to this person here, how she's connected to it. So one thing at a time, like the next thing we'll get will probably be more about the symbols. But let me know in the comments, who do you think this person is given all the evidence that we've seen so far? Remember to leave some room for left turns because they could be doing some sort of Bart Allen twist with Barry's daughter, like she could be Barry's daughter, but they could be turning her into a version of Bart Allen, even though her name would be a little bit different. It's really just important what her name is because then we'll know whether or not she has a twin brother and why he's not here too. But like I said, there's a new round of that Flash Ring giveaway. Congratulations to the winner from my last Arrow video, Mac Taylor. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. There was a new round on this video. I'll name a winner when I post new DC. But click here to rewatch that brand new Flash trailer, and click here for the Black Panther Super Bowl trailer and new Infinity War. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.